Hey kids, Straight Talking Fedora Chick coming at you this fine evening. Hope you are all doing well. And welcome to the channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing and hit the ringy-dingy icon below to receive notifications every time I upload. Today's video is about the commercialization of mental health awareness thanks to corporations like Burger King and Bell, oozing corporate hypocrisy with mental health awareness. How their motives are less than altruistic. Hence the title of the video, From Bell to Burger King, commercializing mental health awareness is indeed exploitation. So as mentioned, I will be focusing mainly on Bell and Burger King in this video as they claim to be walking the walk on mental health awareness these days. But the themes I will touch upon are pretty much applicable to many corporations who attempt to get involved with mental health awareness issues. I will be asking some very important questions in this video that everyone concerned about mental health issues should ponder. I will attempt to answer them in this video. Buckle up, kids. This could be a long and bumpy ride, but it will be worth the while. I know I'm a little late to this party, but I only found out about the hashtag Feel Your Way Unhappy Meals, Real Meals campaign from Burger King a few days ago. Keep in mind, kids, I live in Canada, and the campaign, the Feel Your Way Real Meals, are only in 5 select cities in the United States, and of course none here in Canada. But the first thing that hit me was the irritant Bell Let's Talk campaign. So we're going to do a little comparison and contrasting between the two. May is Mental Health Awareness Month in the United States. For this year's prize, Burger King and Mental Health America are partnering up for the Feel Your Way campaign with the marketing of pretty, glossy, colorful boxes to package Whopper combo meals in. How they are partnering up exactly, I still have no idea after much research. The boxed meals are only at select stores in Los Angeles, Austin, Seattle, New York City, and Miami. Basically, Burger King is selling their usual Whopper combos, but with a choice of 5 different colored boxes to reflect your mood to package these Whopper combos. And yes, boys and girls, they do not come with a toy unlike the McDonald's Happy Meal. But take heart, they come with a matching crown. Because everybody knows that for good mental health, we must learn to accessorize, right? And only while supplies last, according to the small print disclaimer. Okay, what the hell does that even mean, while supplies last? Is Burger King going to run out of Whoppers? Are they going to run out of Whopper combos? Or will they simply perhaps run out of those pretty crowns and that match with the pretty box that you order? I will leave a link below as to who Mental Health America is, but a brief synopsis. They appear to be an umbrella group that provides education, advocacy, resources for those seeking help for their mental health issues or for their loved ones. I took a look at their fundraising through Charity Navigator. Again, link below in the description box. Has a nice pie charts and graphs and such. They appear to be transparent and ethical. However, one red flag came up for me. The CEO and president of Mental Health America, Paul Gianfrido, earns 6 figures to the tune of $224,794 a year, which according to Charity Navigator represents about 6.06% of the operating budget for Mental Health America. I realize that this is a drop in the bucket, but still, to run any charity, one must feel passion for the cause they are advocating. Therefore, one must question the motivations of those presidents, CEOs, or whatever the titles of head honchos of these charities, NGOs, are called. Now we have to ask, are they passionate? Are they compassionate? Do they really believe in what they do or in their mission statement of their organizations? Or are they simply motivated by their hefty salaries? Whatever the case, with that kind of salary, This makes Gianfrido unrelatable to those who suffer from mental illness. Not talking about the celebrities that Bell likes to trot out every year for the Bell Let's Talk campaign. No, I am talking about the often voiceless, faceless people who suffer daily from mental health issues. And unlike someone like Gianfrido or any of those celebrities who have options when it comes to seeking help, we do not have those luxuries. We often have no options, no resources. Even those of us who seek help, particularly in the US, where there is no universal health care and works with a rather complicated and convoluted health insurance scheme. Nonetheless, here's a quote from Paul Gianfrido, CEO of Mental Health America. MHA is very pleased to partner with Burger King, said Paul Gianfrido, President and CEO, MHA, Mental Health America. While not everyone would think about pairing fast food and mental health, MHA believes in elevating the conversation in all communities in order to address mental illness before stage 4. By using its internationally known reputation to discuss the importance of mental health, Burger King is bringing much needed awareness to this important and critical discussion, letting its customers know that it is okay to not be okay. One main question we should be asking ourselves, once again, boys and girls, are these companies really helping to lift the stigma of mental illness? Or are they co-opting the mental health awareness for marketing their own brands? Why do I believe it's the latter? And if it is the latter, this is why the commercialization of mental health awareness is exploitation. Pure and simple. Here in Canada, we have Mental Health Awareness Week in October, and of course, the rather controversial at times, hashtag Bell Let's Talk campaign. That day is usually the last Thursday of January. Now, I understand that most of my subscribers and viewers on this channel are from the US. I will briefly explain Bell before getting into my points. Bell is a huge conglomerate that sells the usual phone, mobile, internet, and cable packages. It also has a few subsidiaries. Bell Media, which has been doing its damnedest to have a monopoly on media outlets across Canada. Radio, TV, newspapers. And they don't play fair neither. Corporate thugs, basically. Bell Let's Talk, much like Burger King's Feel Your Way, is another hashtag that works with social media. Canadians on Facebook would put up the Bell Let's Talk avatar on their profile pics. And how it works is if somebody uses the hashtag or sends a text from their cell on the Bell Mobility Network, or of course posts the hashtag, Bell donates about a nickel or so to the mental health organizations across Canada. A drop in the bucket compared to their bottom line. So, really not all that impressive. They just want to feel warm and cuddly inside, and they want the public at large to feel that way too. And they think they can be absolved of their sins. Sadly, it works. Many, if not most, fall for it. If they didn't, Bell would use another marketing tack now, wouldn't they? I will get to the Bell Let's Talk more in detail shortly. But first, I am going to play for you the Burger King ad, which is a pretty long spot, about a minute and a half long, a little over that. Now,
not everybody wakes up happy. Sometimes you feel sad, scared, crappy. All I ask is that you let me feel my way.
Feeling blue, kinda down. Can't wait to leave this closed-minded town.
My boss is such a friggin' creep. I just told him to go f himself.
When I'm feeling weird or sad, being not or angry, just not happy. All I ask is that you let me feel my way.
I can't believe my student loan. I'm never moving out of my parents' home.
Just got ghosted. Should've known. Pretty sure I'll end up alone.
They say I'm too young to raise my baby girl. Take your opinions and suck it, world.
All I ask is that you let me feel my way. All I ask is that you let me feel my way. All I ask is that you let me feel my way.
Now, boys and girls, can you point out what is wrong with this ad? And let's start with that. Well, the basic premise of not having to be happy, happy, joy, joy all the time, and that's okay, that we shouldn't have to suppress our emotions or our feelings no matter how we feel, it's something I fully agree with, 100%. I can really get behind that. However, this ad goes about it all wrong on so many levels. And one has to wonder if Burger King is using this premise and the cause of mental health awareness simply to disguise the fact that they are throwing shade at McDonald's. If so, I don't think I need to tell you that, again, this is exploitation of those with mental health issues of the worst kind. So let's get started, shall we, boys and girls? Number one, whoever wrote the ad or came up with the marketing campaign clearly did not distinguish between actual mental illness, which sufferers deal with daily, and simply having a bad day. They're worlds apart. I mean, take a look at the boxes. Pissy, salty, blue, DGAF, abbreviated don't give a frack, and Yaz. What is that? Yaz. No, seriously, what is that? Please let me know in comments below, because obviously I am not hip and cool. So if you can explain in comments, feel free. Those are moods, nothing more. Those are not mental illnesses. Now, those moods are certainly more prevalent in most who suffer from mental illness, but overall, this grossly misses the mark. I mean, are Yaz, salty, and pissy in the DSM? Somehow, I don't think so. Another issue I have with these boxes is that, again, like I mentioned above, they are so nice and pretty. Not only are they colorful, but they appear somewhat glossy and shiny. As someone who used to work on the administrative side of the printing industry, I can tell you these boxes are an expensive print job. Probably one of the more expensive print jobs on packaging that I've seen. Okay, Burger King actually does print money and can afford this. However, the reality of those suffering from mental illness or any chronic medical condition for that matter is anything but nice, pretty, and glossy and shiny and all packaged nicely with a bow. No, it is messy. Now, I realize that portraying images of the reality of those suffering from mental illness and the stigma attached would not be visually appetizing. However, there has to be a medium between these boxes Burger King is using for their real meal that frankly look like they could have been designed by Jeffree Star's graphic designer. Ironic how they are being marketed as real meals with pretty expensive packaging. Number two, while the problems of student loans having bad boss, a girl frustrated with being told she's too young to be a mom, being ghosted, or being bullied at school. All relatable. And we all went through at least one of the issues mentioned in that ad at some point in our lives, or we will later on, no matter how old we are today. Which brings me to number 3. This ad is only targeting millennials. It completely ignores Gen Xers like yours truly, despite the fact that Gen Xers do suffer from mental illness and have as many stressors as millennials. Or how about baby boomers for that matter? I realize the latter seems to be not counted when compiling mental health stats, but it should be noted that baby boomers come from a time when mental illness was just not spoken of. It was a taboo. They likely would carry that philosophy with them to this day. Number 4. The first thing that came to my mind was the sketch of the woman leaving her job and throwing her personal effects around, yelling at her boss is a creep. Burger King is clearly enticing someone like her to go to Burger King to lick her wounds with their food. Imagine her in the mood she's in, going up to an underpaid cashier who must keep her or his cool at all times and smile, despite being poorly treated by their employer. Only thing is, these employees don't have the luxury of quitting their jobs. I'm not talking about the 16-year-old working after school to pay for clothes or entertainment expenses or saving up for that first car. No, I'm talking about the single mom or the senior citizen. We're seeing more and more of those employees at fast food joints in this day and age, and that is increasing. And herein lies one of my huge problems with the Burger King so-called mental health awareness campaign. Much like Bell here in Canada does, Burger King, as with any fast food or retail job paying minimum wage, treats its employees like crap. 5. Some argue, and I'm not sure I disagree with this, is this Burger King unhappy meal really about mental health awareness, or is it really about competing about the McDonald's Happy Meal? It wouldn't be unreasonable to believe this was more about throwing shade at McDonald's, but again, it goes to the exploitation of mental health awareness in the worst possible way. It is really offensive to those of us with mental health issues. Don't get me wrong, as a vegan, I say pox on both their houses. I don't do Burger King or McDonald's. However, it is a disgrace that they would use the plight of the mentally ill in such a covert manner to cover their would-be intent to go toe-to-toe against a competitor, if indeed that is what is happening. And in my humble opinion, yeah, I believe that is exactly what is happening. Usually my cynicism is never misplaced, boys and girls. Number 6. The ad is pretty much suggesting that if you're feeling like crap or having a bad day or really do suffer from mental health issues, may even be distressed that day, go to Burger King and feed your face on one of those Whopper combo meals. However, how many of us comfort eat, whether or not we're overweight when we're not doing that well? Fast food, like whatever Burger King has to offer, is quick and cheap fix for that. Added bonus track, go eat a Whopper combo in a nice pretty colored box of your choosing. Yes, kids. And you will feel better. The ad campaign implies that we must spend money on food that is not healthy for us. Some argue there is an obesity epidemic. The fact that those who chastise the overweight and the obese do not realize that many, if not most of them, do suffer from chronic mental health issues. Obesity being overweight, mental health issues often go hand in hand. Do we really want to endorse a campaign that further exacerbates this problem? I wonder if Mental Health America thought of this before partnering with Burger King for the Feel Your Way campaign. I get that Burger King would not care about this. If everybody watched what they ate, Burger King would be out of business, as would be their competitors. They would not be selling Whopper combo meals, or at least not as many as they do sell. But I most certainly would have thought that an NGO like Mental Health America might care. I also tried checking to see if Burger King actually hiked the price of the Whopper combo in the pretty mood reflecting colored boxes. I couldn't find anything about that. In the US, a Whopper meal is about $7, give or take. If anyone knows that if these boxes are more expensive simply for the privilege of having your burger and fries coming in a colored package, please let me know in the comments section below. Because to date, I haven't found anything. Now, let's take a further look at Bell Let's Talk ad before we go further into this video.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Even when life looks great,
Many are suffering in silence.
mental health affects us all.
Me.
My son.
My friend.
Even if you're an athlete.
Or not.
Even if you're well known.
Or not.
It could be any of us.
When we talk about it, we can help each other. Today, join the conversation. Let's talk.
Today is Bell Let's Talk Day. Join the conversation.
Now, a brief overview. Bell is still trotting out celebrities like comedian Howie Mandel, as well as Olympian Clara Hughes, the only athlete to ever compete in both a summer and winter Olympics in Canada, if not around the world. Not featured in this ad, but is often a spokesperson for Bell Let's Talk. I have always said this, all well and good to use celebrities to bring awareness, except for one problem. Lives of celebrities do not often mirror those of people like myself and you boys and girls who come here to watch me rant. Celebrities, for example, are for the most part worshipped by society. Bell uses that, but celebrities often have access to resources and options, luxuries most of us do not have, particularly those of you in the US who do not have universal health care like here in Canada or in the UK, as mentioned above. Well, it looks like this year's ad from Bell had some diversity. Usually everybody featured on the billboards or the videos are lily white. Year after year, these #Let's Talk campaigns trot out the same imagery. Not only clean, good-looking celebrities who actually look more well-heeled than most of the population at large in Canada and the US, whether or not they have a mental illness. What about those who are not white and who face racism regularly? In addition to their mental health issues, whatever they may be, whatever the severity, would most definitely be exacerbated by the racism they face. Also, as mentioned, poverty is a huge stressor, no matter where you're from. Even if one does not have a diagnosed mental illness, continued poverty, stressors about being one paycheck away from homelessness, is something that is not addressed enough, not even by any mental health advocacy groups or such. It bears mentioning because employees of Burger King and Bell are living this exact scenario day in and day out. They do not have a voice. It is one of the reasons why I started this channel, to put a real face, a real human who is not famous, has no influence in society, and is definitely not healthy. There are other YouTubers out there doing the same thing I am, and you know who you are. Bell always made one patently false claim: how well they treat their employees. However, especially as every January rolls around, more and more blogs and articles come out from former employees speaking out about how Bell's ill treatment of them further exacerbated their mental health issues. Yes, kids, if Bell wants to walk the walk, and they really cared about mental health issues, they should start by leading by example and actually treating their employees well. I don't know, might be crazy enough to work. Things like forced quotas forced onto their salespeople to lie to customers. Yes, you heard that right, boys and girls. Lie to customers. I will link to a few of those articles below. Constant threats to both internal and external salespeople that something insidious would happen if they did not meet sales quotas. Quotas that hang on like an albatross around their necks. Bell employees actually getting fired for daring to request a sick leave. Employees not only being refused time off if requested, but actually being fired for asking. Now that, my friends, is corporate hypocrisy and it's exploitation. Like I said, I will link those articles and blogs below in the description box if you're interested in reading their stories. Speaking of employee ill treatment, McDonald's is in the news these days, facing 25 charges of sexual harassment. That number, of course, is subject to change. Like with so many workplaces in any given industry, an employee reporting sexual harassment often faces retaliation. This is why sexual harassment on the job largely goes unreported. I mention this because we must ask, how often does sexual harassment occur at companies like Burger King and Bell? Yes, I know, any company really, but for the sake of this video, we are talking about Bell and Burger King specifically. Both claim to care so much about mental health after all, so they deserve to be held to account and have holes punched into that theory. Their hypocrisy must be pointed out. Proceeds. On to the next point. With the Bell Let's Talk or Burger King campaigns, where's the funding going? Bell, at least to their credit, is showing where the proceeds go on their website. I'm not going to go into those particulars in this video, but the page will be linked below for anyone who wants to see it. Burger King appears more covert and gross. They have partnered up with Mental Health America, which provides support, education, advocacy for mental health. I will talk a bit about them shortly, because despite appearing to be on the up and up, there are concerning questions about them too. I researched online all over under different search parameters, asking what percentage of the sales from these real meal boxes, if any, are actually going to Mental Health America or any other mental health organization for that matter. I have not found anything to date. I did read one article from Adweek written by Melissa Blake saying that at the time she wrote the article, which was about a month ago to 3 weeks ago, no one at Burger King got back to her on that very question. What percentage of the sales are going to Mental Health America or any other mental health charity for that matter? So I reached out to her on Twitter yesterday to find out if there was an update, if somebody from Burger King either got back to her or her colleagues at Adweek. She responded quickly and told me that Burger King told her they were not disclosing that information. That is another huge red flag. Why not? After all, even a company with questionable business practices should disclose fundraising details on their website for all to see, no? I did write Mental Health America asking them this very question: what percentage of the sales of these brightly boxed meals were going to them? I'm still waiting for a response from them. At the filming of this video, I still have not heard anything. I will update if I hear anything in a pinned comment below. Likewise, if anybody has this information, by all means, please indicate it in the comments below. So here's the $64,000 question, boys and girls. Is Burger King actually giving anything from the sales of these so-called real meals? The campaign was touted as a partnership between Burger King and Mental Health America, if you remember. If Mental Health America is not receiving any money from Burger King sales, where is the quid, the pro, and the quo, boys and girls? What does Mental Health America get out of it? Or even CEO and President, Mr. Paul Gianfrido, what does he get out of it? If Burger King is not providing any of the proceeds from the sale of these Whopper combos, and they really are disguising the quest for mental health awareness simply to throw shade at McDonald's, this further proves that this corporation is indeed exploiting mental health causes as well as those with mental health issues just to sell more Whopper combos. That's just about going to do it here for this video, kids. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Hit the ringy-dingy icon below so you can be notified every time I upload. Also, for all things vegan, why not go check out my second channel, STFC Kitchen Mishaps? Link is in the card above. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Straight Talking Fedora Chick, over and out.